Imagine the first thing you feel is a crushing, claustrophobic weight, not of the cave walls around you, but of the skull pressing against a brain that's far too big for this era. You are 3 days old, and while your mother thinks you're just another hungry mouth to feed, you're currently calculating the oxygen flow in this damp limestone tomb and wondering why the air quality is so abysmal. You are born with a 300 IQ, a cognitive titan destined for a world of quantum physics and interstellar travel, but you've been dropped into the Pleistocene.
Your reality is unwashed fur, the metallic tang of raw bison blood, and a tribe of people whose entire linguistic range consists of 24 distinct grunts. You aren't just a genius. You are a god trapped in a monkey's body, and survival is no longer a matter of instinct. It's an engineering problem. Most babies are busy learning how to focus their eyes, but you're already analyzing the social hierarchy of your tribe. You see your father, a man whose forehead is as thick as a brick and whose temperament is twice as heavy. And you realize he is the alpha only because he can swing a heavy femur faster than anyone else. To him, the world is a series of immediate threats. To you, the world is a mathematical equation written in the language of cause and effect. But here's the problem. If you show them what you are, they won't worship you. They'll kill you.
In a world of shadows and superstition, anything they can't understand is a demon. So your first great invention isn't the wheel or the steam engine, it's the mask of the idiot. You spend your first few years pretending to be just like them, all while your mind is screaming for a book, a pen, or even just a piece of charcoal that isn't covered in grease. By age 5, the frustration is a physical ache in your chest. You watch the tribe struggle for hours to start a fire by banging rocks together, a process so inefficient it makes your teeth hurt. You know the exact principles of friction and ignition. You know you could build a bow drill in 10 minutes that would provide fire on demand. But you wait. You watch. You learn that power in this world doesn't come from knowing things, it comes from discovering them in a way the others can digest.
You wait for a particularly rainy week when the tribe is shivering, their old embers long dead, and the elders are howling at the sky. You wait until the alpha is at his weakest, his pride wounded by his inability to protect the group. That's when you accidentally find 2 pieces of wood. You sit in the corner, humming a tuneless melody, and begin to work the drill. You aren't just making fire, you're performing a miracle. When the first spark catches the dry moss, the silence in the cave is absolute. They don't see a tool, they see you summoning the sun. This is your first pattern interrupt. You've changed the narrative from survival to mastery, but now you have a target on your back. The alpha, Korg, doesn't like miracles he didn't perform. He sees the way the others look at you, a child who can command the warmth, and he sees a threat.
You realize then that a 300 IQ doesn't just mean you're good at math. It means you have to be a master of psychological warfare. You don't fight Korg, you make him think your ideas are his. You leave lucky stones in his path that are actually sharpened into the first hand axes. You lead the tribe through a series of accidental breakthroughs. You look at the stars and you see gas giants, nuclear fusion, and the infinite expansion of the universe. You try to explain the concept of tomorrow to your best friend, a boy who thinks the moon is a giant white eye that watches him pee, and you realize the linguistic gap is a canyon you can't bridge. You are the only person on the planet who knows that the Earth is round, that germs cause the sickness killing the elders, and that the stars aren't spirits. You are a man from the year 40,000 living in the year 40,000 BC. The isolation starts to break you. You find yourself talking to the walls, carving complex calculus equations into the deep dark corners of the cave where no one ever goes just to see the symbols exist in the physical world.
You realize that your life's mission isn't just to survive, it's to save these people from their own ignorance before the next ice age wipes them out. Because you've seen the signs, you've noticed the slight shift in the migratory patterns of the birds, you've felt the subtle change in the wind's moisture. Your 300 IQ brain has already modeled the climate for the next decade, and the results are catastrophic. A volcanic winter is coming. The tribe thinks the Great Cold is just a bad season, but you know it's a death sentence. To survive, you need to revolutionize everything. You need agriculture, you need permanent shelter, and you need a way to store calories. You start by teaching the tribe how to dry meat, not because you told them to, but because you noticed that meat left in the sun near the salt flats didn't rot.
Then you move to the water. You engineer a series of weirs in the river to trap fish, providing a constant protein source that doesn't require a dangerous hunt. The tribe is growing stronger, healthier, and for the first time, they have leisure time.
This is dangerous. Leisure time leads to thinking, and thinking leads to questions. Korg is getting restless. He doesn't understand why we aren't moving, why we're staying in one place like the trees. He wants to hunt. He wants the old ways.
He challenges you in front of everyone. He says the spirits are angry because we have stopped wandering. He raises his club, and for a second, your 300 IQ brain calculates 14 different ways to kill him using nothing but a sharp pebble and the momentum of his own swing. But you don't kill him. Instead, you use the first eclipse. You've been tracking the lunar cycles for years on a notched bone. You know that in exactly 3 minutes, the sun will vanish.
You tell the tribe that if Korg strikes you, the sky will go dark forever. He laughs. The tribe laughs. He brings the club down, and the world turns to twilight. The screams that follow are unlike anything you've ever heard. It's the sound of a species confronting the supernatural. Korg drops the club, trembling on the ground, begging for the light to return. You stand there, a small, frail-looking young man, and you command the sun to reappear. When it does, you aren't just a member of the tribe anymore. You are their king.